All right, guys. Good day, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your time zone and where you're watching me from. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are all doing all right. Welcome back to my channel again this afternoon. I was supposed to come back in the morning, but I was kind of busy. How are you guys doing? Welcome back again. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back, guys. Please share the live stream. Welcome back, guys. How are you guys doing? Please comment where you're watching me from. If you're joining me for the first time, please comment where you're watching from. Comment where you're watching from, please. Comment where you're watching from. Comment where you're watching from. Thank you very much for joining me here. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Bob, watching from USA. Bob, how are you doing? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you very much for joining me here. Okay, Bob, first of all, I don't know if you read the caption. My channel is not for entertainment, it's not for music concert, it's not for comedy. My channel is about politics in Africa, the state of politics in Africa. I use my channel to sensitize Africans about the importance of holding leaders accountable and as well lending my voice when it is needed and in some certain things. I hope you understand. Thank you very much. But Bob, do you understand? Thank you very much, Bob, for joining me here. Thank you very much. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. Keep coming, guys. Keep coming. Keep coming. There's one topic that we wanted to touch on in the morning, but we had to jump into another topic of politics. And I found the need to repeat and I'll come back to that same topic again this afternoon. Um, it's about, we had a previous discussion about a few days ago about women in Africa and how women have been badly treated in Africa. And I found the need to talk about it again in the morning, but one or two things in the topic, carried me away, and I focused on the politics. But this afternoon, I found the need to come back to talk about it because it's very, very important. It's something that's been bothering me for a long time. First of all, please, guys, if you can hear me clearly, please say yes in the comment section. If you can hear my voice clearly, if my voice is very clear, please say yes, please. My voice is very, very clear. Please say yes in the comment section. Can you hear me clearly, please? If you can hear me clearly, please let me know. Can you hear me clearly? Can you hear me clearly, guys? Please, if you can hear me clearly, please let me know in the comment section, please. Can you hear me? Nobody's saying anything. Please, if you can hear me, say yes, please. I want to make sure that everybody is hearing me so I can start. Can you hear me? Please, if you can hear me, say yes, please. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Okay, good. Margaret, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Um, all right. So, like I said, African women in Africa has been badly treated. I said this last time on my live channel and live stream, and I found the need to repeat it again this morning, this afternoon. Sorry, African women have been badly treated, and it seems like it's a normal thing. It seems like it's norm. It's not normal. It's not normal. I told you guys a story of a neighbor that left his wife and children here in Africa, in Gambia, and traveled to France. When he got to France, he met another woman there. When he met another woman, he abandoned the ones in Africa and then focused on the one in France. To the extent that the ones in Africa, the children were out of school, there was no food to eat, to pay house rent was a problem. And the woman becomes so worried, so bothered until she becomes sick. I told you guys when she was sick, the family of the woman contacted the man in France and told the man that the wife is seriously sick. You can guess what was the man's reaction. The man said that the wife should not go anywhere to treat herself because there was a plan of taking the woman to Senegal to treat her. But the man gave order that the woman should not go anywhere because of the children, that she should stay back in Gambia and take care of the children, despite that the condition of the woman. To the extent the sickness became very serious because it's something related to heart. The sickness became very, 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 very serious. And they took her to Senegal in emergency, and it became that it was the time that the sickness already gone so bad. She got to Senegal, and 2 days later, I think 3 days later, she died in Senegal. Abandoned the children here. And now, this got my attention. I was like, why is it that women are being treated like as if they are slaves in Africa? Average African man always think that the job of a woman, in fact, the need of a woman is to have children, to cook food, to go to the market and clean the house, which is very, very, very wrong. That is a wrong narrative. Women are the same like men. They have the same blood running through our vein, the same blood running through their vein. We do not have red blood and women have white blood. It's the same red blood. I mean, they should be treated equal. They should be treated like a human. I mean, they should be treated with love. I've said it time without number that women, to me, to my own understanding about women. Okay, Bob, thank you very much for saying this. I said maybe this is your first time of joining me here on my live stream. First of all, Ibrahim Traoré is my hero. He's a true Pan-Africanist, and I use his picture on my background to promote his leadership on my channel. That I put Ibrahim Traoré's picture on my background does not mean I must have to talk about Ibrahim Traoré. This has been something that I told you guys here right from time. Go and check my live streams. I've said it time without number that I'll be using Ibrahim Traoré's picture on my background on live stream to promote his leadership for the whole of 2025. That's what I said. So that is the reason why you see his pictures on my background. And nevertheless, you will still hear more of his achievements from live stream here, because I do chip in a few things about him on my live stream during discussion. So don't mind the picture you see on the background. Just listen to the message. All right. So the woman was abandoned, to die, and at the end of the day, the man moves on. But I don't think he is running his country, Burkina Faso, very well. I think there is a lot of poverty and terrorism in Burkina Faso. That is a capital lie. That is a big, fat lie. But this is not the topic I'm talking about now. I will come to that later. I hope you will still stick to this live stream so that you can be able to hear from me. I'm talking about women in Africa. So, first of all, we should try to embrace them. We should try to cherish them. For me, I consider women as angels, because you can imagine when a human being carries another human being inside her body for 9 months. At the end of the day, they will go. go to the labor room, that is, which is a 50-50, condition. Is either, is either 50% chance of coming out alive, or 50% chance of dying through, childbirth. So after all these sufferness women suffer, come out, take care of home, you know, at the end of the day, you come back to treat them so bad. It is uncalled for, and I wouldn't be in position to support that kind of culture. A woman should always have the right to do whatever she feels like to do. I mean, anything positive to add value to the society. It's not just all about the kitchen and the bedroom. That is not all women are all for. You know, that is what I wanted to talk about in the morning. But one or two topics, carried me away, and I skipped it. But I still find the need to come back, talk about it again. Please, let's treat women good in Africa. It is very, very important. Very, very, very important. So that's by the way. Let me answer, Bob, your question. First of all, let me introduce Ibrahim Traoré to you. Maybe you don't know who is Ibrahim Traoré, and I'm pretty sure that you've not been to Burkina Faso. I doubt if you've been to Burkina Faso. Bob, are you there? I doubt if you've been to Burkina Faso. First of all, Burkina Faso is in was in West Africa before they separated from West Africa and formed a Sahel state. Okay, Burkina Faso is not far away from here. I think from Gambia to Burkina Faso is about 2,000 kilometers or thereabout. So it's not that far from me here. If on the air, it should be 3 hours on the air, or 4 hours thereabout. I don't think it's up to 4 hours. I think it should be 3 hours or thereabout. Well, Burkina Faso was being colonized by French government. Under that French government colonization, Burkina Faso was being subjected into abject poverty for decades. Now, in 1980, I think that was 1983, Thomas Sankara came on board and reclaimed the country, I think through coup. After the independence, as they said there was independence in 1960. I don't still believe. For me, Alex Bluecoat, it's been a while. Oh my goodness, this guy, it's been a very, very, very long time. How have you been? If there's another person I'm missing out here on the live stream, Boitumelo Mbikwana, where is he? It's been a long time. Alex Bluecoat, thank you very much for joining us again back here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, Bob, I hope you're listening to me. So, during Thomas Sankara reformed the sectors, every parastatal in Burkina Faso. He reclaimed his country back and the country resources back. And that process, he was set up by the Western government, by French government, and he was assassinated, betrayed by his own friend. He was assassinated. When he was assassinated, the whole mining site that he recovered from the French mining companies and Canadian mining companies were also returned back to those companies. Now, after this period of time, Ibrahim Traoré came on board in 2022. He reclaimed the country back. Gloria Osa, thank you very much for joining me here. He reclaimed the country back. When he reclaimed the country back, he made nothing on board. Not just that he made nothing on board, Burkina Faso was left, into abject poverty by the French government, because the French government and the Canadian companies, mining companies, were the ones in charge of Burkina Faso mining sites, right? They were all taking the gold from them. You cannot agree with me that Burkina Faso is the fourth largest producing country in Africa. But to my greatest surprise, all these mining companies, all these foreign mining companies was only giving Burkina Faso 20% of their resources, apart from all the resources that they've been exploiting away from the Burkina Faso. They only give Burkina Faso people 20% of their resources. Now, when Ibrahim Traoré came on board, he found out that they only received 20% of the resources, and nothing was on board. Nothing. He made nothing. He made zero account. Nothing was there for him to start his government. Now, what he did was he summoned all the mining companies. Now, I want to introduce Ibrahim Traoré to you, because you have been following the news on the social media and the news on the so-called radio station and the CNN and all that. Those are propagandas. If you want to hear the raw news, come to us. We will give you the accurate news about Burkina Faso and about Ibrahim Traoré. Because first of all, they've already projected that he's a tyrant, and also projected that he's a dictator, that he have subjected the people of Burkina Faso into abject poverty. That's what they projected on the social on the media houses, because you already know that the media houses in Africa has been compromised by the Western government, right? To push in a negative agenda, negative propaganda against African leaders that are doing well, right? I've said it time without number. We do not have, we do not have legit or credible media houses in Africa. All media houses in Africa has been compromised to sell, bad narrative and the propagandas against, to outside to tarnish the image of the good leaders in Africa. That's what they do. So now, when Ibrahim Traoré came on board, he summoned all the mining companies in Burkina Faso, and they came. I asked them, how do you guys, he asked them questions, and I asked them questions. They told him that they only, remit 20% of the resources, and he said, no, this one cannot work like this. And they told him that because Burkina Faso does not have the equipments for mining, so that is the reason why they only get only 20% of the resources. Ibrahim Traoré said it cannot work like that. So there was a contract they made, the previous government made with all these mining companies. He made a contract with them. He brought out the contract papers and terminated the contract, paid them back, the remaining money that was, left, he paid them all and reclaimed all the mining sites in Burkina Faso. So, Bob, I hope you get to understand me. I'm giving you details about Ibrahim Traoré before you start listening to propaganda. Now, when he reclaimed the mining, site, what he did was to purchase equipment for mining. He purchased equipment for mining and started mining by himself. His people started mining by himself. I believe pretty well that you've not been to Burkina Faso and you have never been to Africa. I'm pretty sure about that. So do not listen to the lies that they sell out to you on the media houses, because you already know that the media houses have been compromised. Donald Trump said it. We thought that maybe it was a lie, but now we get to understand, because you can agree with me that when Michael Langley went to the Congress to label Ibrahim Traoré as a dictator, they all pushed the narrative and agenda for people to believe that he was a dictator. But at the end of the day, because we are in the 21st century, where we have social media platforms, people use social media platforms to debunk, lies and propaganda. That is when people get to understand the truth and what is going on in Burkina Faso. Now, he summoned all of them and, terminated the contract, paid them off, asked them to leave. They left, and he purchased mining equipment in Burkina Faso that is mining, and started mining by himself. On the process of mining by himself, you get to understand that Burkina Faso people, Burkina Base need, good access road. This is a leader that is intentional, a leader that is selfless. It is not a big deal for Ibrahim Traoré to come out and say, okay, French government, I want to, because you have already, succeeded about 17 times assassination. Now he knows that his life is in danger. For him to preserve his life, he had other options what to do. What if he's a selfish leader? What he would have done is to call French government, tell them, come, let's do it, let's strike a deal. Now, pay me $5 billion or pay me $10 billion. Let me hands off. You guys come and take over, and let me just go and live, carry my family, carry my relatives, go to America, buy villa there, and live my life. You guys can come and take over Burkina Faso. But he said no, he will not do that. He would rather die on the cost of making sure that the country, is put back on the map and people enjoy the dividends of democracy, than to run away from his country and submit his country to his oppressors and the enemies. Now, what he did was he went ahead, purchased the equipment, and they started mining. On that course, he got to understand that Burkina Faso need good access roads. What he did, he looked around and summoned all the construction companies in Burkina Faso and asked them, why is it that any contract that is given to you guys, it takes so long for you guys to deliver? Because you already know that most of these contractors in Africa, they come here to come and steal. These Lebanese companies, Indian companies, they come here to come and steal. They are not real. They're not genuine, right? When you give them contract of a 3-kilometer paved road, it will take them like 3 years before they can deliver. Not just only 3 years. They may not even end up delivering that project, but they will eat the money, because they will share the money with all these people in politics. That's exactly what is happening in Nigeria. in Nigeria today, when a project is awarded, when a contract is awarded to a certain construction company, maybe like 10-kilometer paved road, if it is 1 billion, right? This construction company will settle the local government chairman, settle the president himself, settle the governors themselves, settle local councillor, settle House of Rep, settle senators. At the end of the day, you get to understand that the 1 billion that he charged for the project is no longer even there. Maybe what is left with him, maybe like 300 million. And if you look around, you see that 300 million cannot even do quarter of that project. At the end of the day, they will abandon the project just uncompleted and go, or just abandon the project like that. So this is the problem that we are having in Nigeria. Now, these are the same problem that Burkina Faso were facing when they give these contractors project of 5-kilometer paved road. It takes them forever to deliver. And Ibrahim Traoré look around and say, no, we can't continue like this. Now, I will have to terminate all the contract that you guys have. You guys will have to leave. And he paid them, and they left. What did he do? He went and purchased 1,000 equipments. Bob, I hope you are here. You are listening to me, because of you, I abandoned the first topic that I was talking about and come down to here. So I want to clarify something to you, because we're using our social media platform to debunk lies, because these are the same narrative and agenda they had. They pushed out against Gaddafi, making people to believe that Gaddafi was a tyrant or Gaddafi was a dictator, which was all lies. Gaddafi was never a dictator. Gaddafi was never a tyrant. Gaddafi was one of the best presidents in Africa, if not the best president in Africa. Gaddafi did absolutely well in his own time. During the time of Gaddafi, you can agree with me that Libyans do not even travel out of Libya to look for greener pasture anywhere. But today, Libyans are scattered everywhere. Today, after the death of Gaddafi, 15 years later, there is no government in Libya till now. Libya is running by itself. There's no government for the past 15 years in Libya. This is the same agenda they pushed out, because why? Gaddafi was against them. Gaddafi wanted one borderless Africa, one united Africa. That was the agenda of Gaddafi. And they got to understand that if this agenda get to actualize, it will affect them seriously and it will affect their economy. So Gaddafi became a target to them, and they started pushing the agenda, pushing the propaganda against Gaddafi, and every single person in Africa believed that Gaddafi was a tyrant, which he was never a tyrant. So this is the same agenda they're trying to push against Ibrahim Traoré, which have already failed on arrival. Okay. Now, what he did, he purchased over 1,000 equipment machineries for construction. And he looked around. He said, no, if I buy 1,000 equipment and still employ foreign contractors, it means that it's the same thing. Now, what I will do, I will send out my people to go and study and learn how to make use of this equipment. Though we have civil engineers in Burkina Faso already, but we need people that will make use of this equipment, that will drive this equipment. He sent out about thousands of youth to go and learn how to make use of drive those equipment. After that, they came back. Now, as I'm talking to you, Burkina Faso, so far so good. Ibrahim Traoré have delivered 5,000 kilometer paved road, starting from 2022 to 2025. 5,000 kilometer paved road. This is something that Burkina Faso, in the history of Burkina Faso, they've never achieved this kind of milestone anytime. So let's encourage people that are doing well. Let's encourage the leaders that are intentional, that want the best for their people. Let's encourage them. It's not about tarnishing their image. It's not about condemning them. It's not about bringing out, pushing out wrong agenda or wrong narrative against them, trying to, deter them, making them feel less of themselves. Ibrahim Traoré, in fact, so far is the best president in Africa so far. Everybody, if you agree with me, you get to understand. Go and check. Go to Tayo Aina. Tayo Aina is a YouTuber. He's a Nigerian YouTuber, popular Nigerian YouTuber that travels across the world. Go and watch his documentary about Burkina Faso. He went to Burkina Faso just few weeks ago, and he made a documentary. Go and check, what's it called? Wodemaya. Wodemaya is a Ghanaian popular YouTuber. He went to Burkina Faso. He made a documentary about Burkina Faso as well. Tayo Aina and Wodemaya, their documentaries rhymed. And I believe so much well that these guys can never be compromised. and they can never push the wrong agenda. Not even only that, I know people that have traveled to Burkina Faso and they came back with good testimonies about what is going on in Burkina Faso. So I don't know where you people are getting that information that Burkina Faso they are suffering. Do you know what Ibrahim Traoré has achieved so far after since 2022 till now? This guy is building power plant that will supply 24 hours electricity in Burkina Faso in Fada. There's a province in Burkina Faso they call Fada. He's building power plant that will supply constant electricity to the people of Burkina Faso, knowing fully well that electricity is another form of achievement to attract investors and as well help insecurity, not just only insecurity, help unemployment in the country. Because when you have constant electricity, foreign investors will be attracted to come and invest. Just like what is happening in Nigeria. The reason why most of the companies in Nigeria are leaving Nigeria is because there's no electricity. Most of the hotels in Nigeria are closing down because there's no electricity. You can't invest in a country where there's no electricity, where you burn diesel, pay salaries. At the end of the day, at the end of the month, you have nothing to write home about. So electricity is very, very important. So he understands that language, that electricity is very, very important. That is why he's building constant electricity now in Fada. Not just only that, Ibrahim Traoré is building affordable homes for civil servants. Bob, I hope you are here. I want to sensitize your brain because it is very important, because you guys have been a victim of these lies and propagandas that has been flying. Owolabi Adewale Tajuddin, he said, "We are coming to rule the world, as said by Malcolm X. The journey has started, not from self-acclaimed giant of Africa, a word used for food, as giant is of Africa." Well, my brother, thank you very much for saying this. I understand your point, where you're coming from. But sincerely speaking, I'm not going to lie to you. Nigeria is not giant of Africa. Yeah. We are just deceiving ourselves. We are not giant of Africa. Nigeria failed itself and failed the citizens and failed Africa. Nigeria as a country, and you see what's going on now. Look at, as I'm talking to you now, right now, there's a big protest in Ivory Coast. There is a very massive protest in Ivory Coast. I said it time without number here. There is a wind of revolution that is blowing across African countries, and we can feel it wherever you are in Africa. You can feel it. It's happening right now as I'm speaking to you. Ivory Coast, there is a big, massive protest in Ivory Coast now, today, as of today. There was a massive protest in Angola a few days ago. There was a massive protest in Togo a few weeks ago. There was a massive protest in Kenya a few weeks ago. There was a massive protest all across Africa. It's coming. It's coming. Gradually, we are getting there. Sincerely speaking, I'm not going to lie to you. We are getting there. We are getting there. So I'm still talking about Ibrahim Traoré. Ibrahim Traoré have already achieved a lot within the space of 2 years. You can imagine somebody that met nothing, and he started building the country from the scratch. And some people are standing by the corner and be saying that he subjected the people. Listen, before the emergence of Ibrahim Traoré, there was a high level of insecurity, high level of terrorism in Burkina Faso, in the northern part of Burkina Faso. But since Ibrahim Traoré came on board, the insecurity reduced drastically. If you can agree with me, insecurity in Burkina Faso reduced drastically. Before Ibrahim Traoré came on board, most of the time you will hear that there is 200 people, they kill 300 people in community in Burkina Faso. But today, it's not like that anymore. So I don't understand where you guys are bringing this propaganda. The same thing they did to Gaddafi, lying and selling lies to people, for people to believe that Gaddafi was a tyrant. Gaddafi was never a tyrant. Do you know during the time of Gaddafi, Libyans get paid. If you are a Libyan woman and go to the hospital to deliver a child, once you put to bed, you have $1,000 for you. I'm telling you with experience. I left Nigeria 15 years ago. So whatever I'm telling you with experience. Gaddafi made the life of Libyans so easy, to the extent that there is no country in Africa that will swear that they did not feel the positive impact of Burkina Faso, of Gaddafi. There is no country in Africa that did not feel the positive impact of Gaddafi. If you did not build a hotel in your country, he will build mosque. If you did not build mosque, he will give you money. Gaddafi did a lot in Africa. And his agenda, his plan was to unite Africa, bring Africa together, make sure that Africans, unite themselves, and we have one borderless Africa. A Nigerian can travel to Kenya without the agenda. That was the mindset of Gaddafi. But they killed that mindset because why? Because he said, no, you can't come to my country, taking out my resources and be giving me percentage. I can't take it. The same thing they did to Idi Amin. They said Idi Amin was a brutal tyrant. Idi Amin killed people. Idi Amin used to eat human beings. All lies from the pit of hell. Because why? Idi Amin told them, I can't be in my country and you'll be coming to my country to take my resources and be giving me percentage, peanut. I can't do it. He asked them to leave. That is when they started seeing him as a tyrant and as a dictator. Now, check all these countries that are doing well. Their leaders are doing well. Look at somebody like, for instance, look at somebody like John Mahama. I understand pretty well that there's nothing like coup in Ghana. But you can agree with me that Mahama is somebody that is a revolutionary leader. I mean, current Ghanaian president, John Mahama, is a revolutionary leader and he's doing amazingly well in Ghana. Now, you can see the relationship between Ghana and America and this, and yeah, let me just say, the relationship between America and the UK with Ghana, the relationship is not as strong as it was before. Because why? Because there's a revolutionary leader that is in charge of Ghana affairs. Now, they want a puppet. That is what they want. They want puppet that they will install, to penetrate the country through their puppet. That is the problem Nigeria is having today. Nigeria as a country can never make a decision on their own without going to UK, going to British government to take a decision, to take an excuse or to take permission. They cannot. They cannot. This is the problem that we're having. We need to wake up. We need to, if a small country like Burkina Faso can do it, I'm not saying I can never be in support of a coup. I'm not in support of coup in any form. I'm not in support of bloodshed in any form. But Senegalese did it. There was a diplomatic revolution in Senegal last 2023. Senegalese went to the pool and make a decision and choose the right leader on board. The same revolution is what we are looking for in Nigeria. It's not all about when they give you peanuts, you fall for it. They buy your conscience with 1,000 naira, 2,000 naira. They buy your conscience with one bag of rice, half bag of rice. They buy your conscience with lies, fake promises. Be a man. Stand on your feet. Defend your vote. 2027 is around the corner. What have you done? What is your plan? What is the mass? What is Nigerian youth? I mean, in Nigeria today, 65% of the Nigerian population is the youth. And I keep wondering, these youth, have they been held ransom or what is going on? Are they not seeing what is happening across African countries, other African countries? What is going on at Nigerian youth that you guys cannot even talk? If you come to the Nigerian social media space, you weep, you will cry. All they talk about in the Nigerian social media space is about this one bought a car, this one is showing off a wristwatch, this one is showing off, houses, showing off mansions, showing off the house, a holiday. The women showing their boobs, showing their ass, wearing pants and all that. That is all you see in the Nigerian social media space. You can't see anything reasonable. Social media platform is the only tool that we have in our hand to liberate Africa. We don't need to carry gun. We don't need to go to the carry placard, be on the street and be protesting. No. Social media is the biggest tool. Because let me tell you a story, the positive effect of social media. Do you know, for instance, when Michael Langley of AFRICOM went to US Congress to label Ibrahim Traoré as a dictator, that was an agenda that he wanted to push. And when he pushed the agenda, the next thing you see is CNN will carry it, BBC will carry it, Channel TV in Nigeria will carry it, other big media houses in Africa will carry it. Then they push that agenda into the minds of people, and people will start believing that through Ibrahim Traoré is a dictator, which he is never. Now, when Michael Langley did that, he got he got back the negative return of it because they thought that we were still in stone generation, stone age, where there's no means of communication. I mean, there's no social media platform. We have social media platform now, and the main benefit of the social media platform we have is to debunk this kind of lies. When he did that, people came out in mass. Are people in diaspora? Are people in Africa, lovers of Africa? People in Caribbean countries and America, Black Americans, Black British, Black Australian, Black Europeans, they came out in mass with their social media and started, protesting that it is a lie. We will never allow you guys to invade Burkina Faso. That was when he felt the heat. Michael Langley felt the heat, and he had no other choice than to step down from AFRICOM. That is the positive effect of social media. We use social media as a weapon. If it was during the time of Gaddafi or during the time of Idi Amin or Mamika Cabral or Lumumba or Kwame Nkrumah, there was nothing like social media. All you believe is what you hear. Whatever they tell you on radio stations is what you believe. Whatever they tell you on TV stations is what you believe. But now, we have social media platforms in our hand. If it was during the time of these our heroes, trust me, there's nothing we can do. They will only come and tell you these lies, and you believe. And the next thing you will see is the military will invade Burkina Faso and eliminate Ibrahim Traoré. Now you can understand the positive effect of social media platform. Social media platform is the tool, is the weapon that we have to liberate Africa, to reclaim our continent, to make sure that we put Africa back on the map, on the track. So what am I talking about? Ibrahim Traoré is never like what this Bob, what he said. He said Ibrahim Traoré is suggested his people into abject poverty. Now I want to change. I want to sensitize your brain because you already believe the lies they are selling to you. Ibrahim Traoré have done so well within the space of 2 years. You can imagine somebody that have achieved this kind of dream, this kind of a milestone within the space of 2 years. You can imagine when you give him. Okay, I was watching Tayo Aina documentary last time, and I saw a Burkinabe by himself, a young youth, a Burkinabe. He said, just give Burkina Faso 5 years, come back to Burkina Faso. Do you know that the person they are calling tyrant, this same person, his people, I mean, Burkina Faso youth, always sit at the junction in Ouagadougou, every junction in Ouagadougou, protecting this man. So tell me, what made him a tyrant if his people is comfortable with his leadership? Why do you label him a tyrant? So this is the agenda they want to push so that you will believe. But they forgot that we are in 21st century where we have social media platforms to debunk lies, to project the truth about everything. The same person that they say there is a media blackout in Burkina Faso. Listen, there is no journalist in Africa that have not traveled to Burkina Faso. There is no YouTuber, African YouTuber, that have not traveled to Burkina Faso. And since they said that there is a media blackout in Burkina Faso, social media platforms are working in Burkina Faso. If you go, Facebook is working there, YouTube is working, TikTok is working, Instagram is working. So where is the lies? Where is the social media blackout that they're talking about? There was nothing like that. These are agenda that they're trying to push. They're just trying to, incite that, that hatred into people against Ibrahim Traoré, so that people will start hating him, so that when they invade Burkina Faso, people will start rejoicing. Yes, they move him. But they forgot that we are in 21st century. We are no longer living in stone age, where they will just sell all lies and we believe. Now we believe what we see. This generation will get Africa right. I'm not mixing what I'm telling you the gospel truth. Why they want, see, let me tell you, it's not only the West that want to eliminate Ibrahim Traoré. Even African leaders want to see him dead. African leaders want to see Ibrahim Traoré 6 feet. Do you know why? He's exposing a lot. He's making us to believe true that we have that resources to fix Africa. He's making us to believe true that there is enough resources to make sure that every African youth is comfortable. So they are so angry. How can this boy come and start doing all these things now. He's spoiling work for them. Because why? They are in connection with their Western colonial masters. They are working hand in hand. They are puppets. That is why things will happen. Ibrahim Traoré will survive 17-time assassination. You will never hear any African president say anything or do anything. Even when he was labeled a tyrant in the Congress, American Congress, no African leader said anything. They are happy. They want to see him down. Because why? He's exposing a lot. He's waking African youth up. Now you can see, before Ibrahim Traoré came on board, did you ever hear there is a protest here, there is a protest there? No, you never see protest anywhere. But since Ibrahim Traoré came on board, Kenya started. After Kenya, Angola now today, currently now, is happening in what's it called? Ivory Coast. After Ivory Coast, it's happening in what's it called? Angola, Togo. There is a wind of revolution that is blowing across African nations. Senegalese, they reclaim their country back. I'm telling you the gospel truth. In the next 10 years, the economy of the France economy will collapse to nothing. This one said, if he is so smart and good, don't know Putin look Ukraine best. Oh, I don't want this kind of comment. So you can feel the wind of democracy, the wind of revolution that is blowing across Africa. The young man is waking African youth up. I've said it time without number. There is no reason, there is no tangible reason why any Nigerian youth will jump Mediterranean Sea to cross to Europe for greener pasture. And even the most painful part of it is that when they cross to that Europe, they will still be subjected into that slavery kind of condition. Some of them will be thrown inside farm in Italy, in Malta, in Spain. Some of them will be treated so bad like they're animals. Because why? Because of failed leadership in Africa, most especially in Nigeria. Nigeria is wealthy. Nigeria is not just rich. If you say Nigeria is a rich country, it's an underlying statement. Nigeria is a wealthy country. But Nigerians are scattered all over the world. Because why? First of all, there's no job opportunity. There's no job creation in Nigeria. Nigeria has one of the best schools in Africa. But after spending 6 years in university, you come out, there's no job available for you. Somebody that is having BSc, a BSc holder, a master degree holder, is riding Okada. A master degree holder, a BSc holder, is riding Okada. This is the condition of Nigeria, which Nigerian government have subjected these people into. I said it this morning on my live stream. The cause of insecurity, if you're talking about insecurity in Nigeria, they knows how to tackle insecurity. These people, they knows how to tackle insecurity. But you know why? They are using poverty is the weapon that they use to invade the people. So they subject the people into abject poverty so that they can be able to make use of the people during the election time. You know, a hungry man, when a man is hungry, whatever you give to him, he will appreciate. If you ask him to even lick your ass, he will lick your ass when a man is hungry. So they understand that language. So if Nigerian government come back and tell you that they don't know how to tackle insecurity, they are deceiving you, they are lying to you. First of all, they understand very well that the reason of insecurity, forget about Boko Haram, forget about Fulani herdsmen. Those are not the insecurity that we're talking about. The insecurity that we're talking about is that Nigerian population is 65% is the youth. Nigerian population, 65% is the youth. And this 65% youth, some of them do not have jobs. If you see any Nigerian youth that is doing well, that person must be self-employed. If you see any Nigerian youth that is doing well, that person must be self-employed. If you are hoping on the government to give you a job that will feed you and help you to raise family, you are wasting your time. Because first of all, Nigerian minimum wage now is 70,000 naira, and not even all the states that are paying 70,000 naira as minimum wage. And let me ask you a question: 70,000 naira is less than $50. What can $50 do for a full-grown man for a whole month? Now you're getting to understand what I mean by insecurity. Insecurity that we're talking about It's not just all about killing, go and kill them, go and shoot them dead. Tackle insecurity from the roots. Create job opportunities. Build power plants so that we will have 24 hours electricity. There are youth that has good potential in them, that has good skills in them. They can even, the reason why most of our youth are leaving Nigeria, they have good skills, but they cannot utilize the skills in Nigeria because why? There's no electricity. Create a constant electricity in Nigeria, create job opportunity for them. The youth that are coming out from the school, they can be able to be employed. It's not when somebody come out after 6 years, spending 6 years, plus the ASU strike, maybe spending 8 years or 7 years in the school. When you come out, you'll be carrying files up and down. At the end of the day, you will end up becoming a hotel attendant or become a Okada rider or become a keke driver. That is a big slap on in the face of Nigerian educational system. A country that produces million barrels of oil every month. You don't have refinery. Do you know, as rich as Nigeria, we should be having at least nothing less than 10 refineries in Nigeria. Yes, our crude oil should not be shipping outside to refine and bring back to us to come and buy. Our oil should be refined in Nigeria. Refining our oil in Nigeria will even create another job opportunity for millions of youths. And I don't know. I don't know. We are becoming so weak. Nigerian youth are becoming so weak. And to the extent, I've said it time with that number. If you go to Nigerian social media space, you will cry because even some youth are even supporting these old people in power. Because of why? Because of tribalism, because of sentiment, because of favoritism, because of religion. They are supporting these people in power. When you say Tinubu is not doing well, and which obviously that Tinubu is not doing well, for crying out loud, you will see one youth will come and tell you, go get out there, you poor boy like that. Tinubu is doing well, this and that. You'll be marveled. This is somebody that will go to the market and buy a bag of rice 110,000, and you too will go to the market and buy a bag of rice 110,000. That you are defending Tinubu will not make you to go to the market and buy lesser price. Let me ask you something. Those that are defending Tinubu in Nigeria, let me ask you something. Before Tinubu was sworn in 2023, how much was liter of petrol? During the time of Buhari, how much was a liter of petrol? How much was dollar? $1 to naira. How much was dollar then? How much was bag of rice? Now that is telling me that Tinubu is doing absolutely well, please tell me in which area is Tinubu doing well? In which area? Okay, now, for instance, the day Tinubu was sworn in, subsidy was removed immediately. The day Tinubu was sworn in, Nigerians' pain started immediately. That same hour, that same minute. Because when he was sworn in, that that's when he declared removal of subsidy. And when subsidy was removed, immediately, fuel price skyrocketed. Or you know very well that in Nigerian business, in Nigerian business space, once fuel price is high, every essential commodities goes high. That is just fact. So fuel price was high, immediately essential commodities became so expensive. And until now, there's no changes. It become worse. Now I have a question for those of you that are supporting Tinubu. Since Tinubu became president and since subsidy was removed, what has Tinubu done with the subsidy? The money that was removed from subsidy. Have you seen any positive change? Yeah, last year I went to Nigeria. From all the way from eastern part of Nigeria down to Lagos, there was no road. The road was nothing to write home about. The worst even, okay, let me leave eastern part. Eastern roads are very good. From Aba to Owerri, from Owerri to Onitsha, from Onitsha to Delta, from Delta to Bini, the road is good. No, let me not say Bini. Let me say to Delta, because from Bini bypass, I think Bini bypass or Bini, no, not Bini bypass. The bypass is far. Let me just say from Delta down to Bini, from Bini down to Lagos, the road is nothing to write home about. Nothing, absolutely nothing. The roads are not good, and there is nothing. Sometimes I keep wondering what is happening. What is happening in Nigeria? what is really happening in Nigeria. The roads are nothing to write back home, and government will come back to tell you that they are commissioning, that they're about to start another project or road project. They call it Calabar Coastal Road. That is about, I think it's 700 kilometer road that is costing Nigerians 16 trillion naira. Another road entirely. Meanwhile, we already have another road, another access road that need to be rehabilitated. We need to dualize that road. So why not, in that 16 trillion, why not use half of that money? Dualize this one that this is existing road already. Dualize it and maintain it and do it very well so that we can have good access road. And forget about that Calabar Coastal Road. That Calabar Coastal Road is total waste of resources. Doesn't make any sense. 16 trillion. Meanwhile, we are crying that there's no constant electricity. And you're talking about 16 trillion projects. Who did this to us? Insecurity, it becomes order of the day. Every day, there is killing here, there is killing there, there is killing somewhere. Nigerians are now living in fear. In Nigeria now, you cannot even drive from Lagos to Ibadan. If you get there safely, you will thank your God. This is not the Nigeria that we are thinking of. This is not the Nigeria that we prayed for. It seems like people are living in bondage now. And somebody will come from nowhere and tell you Tinubu is doing well. In which aspect? Tinubu's government is a failed government in all ramification. No two ways about it. We can't keep deceiving ourselves. We have passed the age of suffering and smiling. At this age, we cannot be suffering and be smiling. Before Obasanjo came on, after the regime of Obasanjo's regime, you can agree with me how much was dollar during Obasanjo. I think dollar was 85 naira per $1 during Obasanjo's regime, and fuel was 60 naira or thereabout. Papa, he said, okay, now I see one gullible fellow. Papa, he said, why don't you play your, first of all, he asked me, where do you base? That's not your business. And then he asked again, why don't you play your part by contesting to join into government so as to achieve what you crave for? Now, let me ask you a question. Must everybody become a politician? I want to ask you. Must I become a politician before I will be able to lend my voice when it is needed? It is a question I want to ask you. Must I become a politician? Must I have to contest before I can be able to lend my voice or condemn what is bad? I don't need to contest. I don't need to be in power. I don't need to be in government. Because you already know that the corruption that we're talking about is not even from the top, it's from the grassroots. Even you that is talking now, if you any slight opportunity that you will see to be in government, you will still, because it's already every average Nigerian mindset now thinks that politics is an access to become wealthy. Politics is an access, is an avenue to become wealthy in Nigeria. That is average Nigerian mentality. So don't blame me for not contesting. It's not my business. It's not my business to contest. I don't need to contest before I lend my voice. This is the time that I have. This is my platform. I created this platform, and this platform, like I always say, go and read my bio. My platform is for justice, fairness, and equity, to lend my voice and sensitize my people about the importance of holding leaders accountable. Yes, because you can easily be in a position to bring the same change you wish to. Why should I? I don't need to be in politics. I think my battery is going down. 1 minute. Guys, I will have to remove the mic so that you guys can hear me clear. I will have to remove the mic because I'm going to put my phone on charge. The battery is down. My battery is down. Very, very down. Oh, shit. Okay. Okay.
Sorry, can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? If you hear me, say yes, please. If you can hear me, say yes. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, say yes in the comment section. Okay, good. I have to remove my, what's it called? All right, good. So I don't need to be in politics before I can be able to lend my voice. First of all, great coded tech, he said, if you are not ready to fight and make things right in the country, you can't just be wasting your voice. Nigerians have been letting their voice out, still no difference. Okay, now let me tell you something. There's something I want to tell you. Great coder. Listen, let me tell you. You know, there's one thing that I always understand in security, when this in terms of security, they say when you see something, you say something. When you see something, you say something. We understand the likes of Traoré, Omoyele Traoré, has been lending his voice since 1999. We understand that fact. We understand that the fact that Gane Fayemi lended his voice and nothing happened. Fela Okuti lended his voice and nothing happened. A lot of people lended their voice and nothing happened. But that does not mean that nothing happened in their own time, does not mean that we don't have to keep lending our voice. Lending our voice is sensitizing people, making them to understand. Listen, the problem, the problem that we have in Africa generally, not just only in Nigeria, the problem we have in Nigeria is, in Africa, is people are scared to speak up. People feel so reluctant. People feel so weak, so lazy to talk when they are supposed to talk. And let me ask you something. When you see something going bad and you refuse to talk, and do you know that what you saw that is bad and you refuse to talk can easily turn back against you? Listen, this insecurity that we're even talking about, that it never gets to you does not mean that it will not get to you or that you are safe. For instance, look at what happened in Anambra State. If one young man, one entrepreneur, fish magnet, was killed by what's it called? By kidnappers, right? As of last year, when you tell this guy about insecurity, it will be doing for him. It will be like it's a cock and bull story. It's like a fairy tale, but it happened to him. I don't know if you understand what I mean. We only lend our voice. We're not saying that we're lending our voice that things must change now, but we're lending our voice for a record purpose, so that tomorrow people will have the call to God to say, yes, we spoke up when we were supposed to. Do you understand? Papa said Traoré approach may be good, but he has failed to start contesting from his grassroots area, e.g., example, local government or state, before moving up, so as to build a political base. Well, that is his own. I don't know about. For me, I wouldn't even support Traoré. I wouldn't even want Traoré to become president, because first of all, Traoré is meant to be an activist, right? Because Africa, like I always say, Africa is corrupt. That's number one thing. Africa is corrupt, and the corruption started from the grassroots, and you can easily be compromised. Look at somebody like former Ghanaian president Akufo-Addo, right? Akufo-Addo was an activist, a very big activist. I mean, Akufo-Addo, if you're comparing Akufo-Addo, you should be comparing Akufo-Addo to Gane Fayemi. But when he became president, what happened? Biggest corrupt, in fact, the most corrupt Ghanaian leader ever was Akufo-Addo, Nana Akufo-Addo whatsoever. I don't know how to pronounce his name. He was the most corrupt leader in Ghana, but he was an activist. Look at somebody like Oshomole. Oshomole was a great comrade. You can agree with me. Oshomole was one of the biggest problem of Obasanjo during the Obasanjo regime. But when Oshomole became governor of Edo State and he joined APC, what happened? Oshomole became one of the most corrupt governors in the history of Nigeria. So what are we talking about? For me, I will say that Traoré's calling is to become an activist, to lend his voice when it is needed. It's not to become president. I don't know if you understand I don't know if you're getting to understand my point. Because when you become president, sincerely, he will rubbish all his effort from 1999, if not even 1999. She already started fighting since 1990, during the time of Abiola. During the time of Abiola, that was when she already started fighting for this cause. So I would be scared for Shewore to become a president. Sincerely speaking, I'm not going to lie to you. I'll be very scared for Shewore to become a president. So, but that's not what I'm even talking about. What I'm talking about is that the corruption started from the grassroots. Now you can agree with me. Like I said, time without number. I've said it time without number. There is no reason. I've said it time without number. There is no reason why a Nigerian youth should go to bed with empty stomach. Why a Nigerian child should go to bed with empty stomach. Why a Nigerian child should be out of school because of school fees. There shouldn't be any reason why a Nigerian youth should be jumping Mediterranean Sea. You know why I said that? We have the resources, but this resources is surrounding circle within the elite. They are enjoying, making sure that their families are comfortable and abandon the citizens. Look at Delta State former governor Okowa. Okowa has a case with EFCC, but since he joined APC, nobody is even talking about it. Somebody that embezzled $1 billion US. Somebody that literally embezzled $1 billion US. This one said it's so easy to talk, and he put parrot and Krieg, but it takes you who does the talking to join politics and make the same change you crave for. I mean, Mr. Man, please, sincerely speaking, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't want you to distract me from what I'm doing here. If you're not comfortable with the channel, please, broad is the way. Okay, I'm here doing my course, doing my own. If you're not comfortable, I've said it time without number. This channel is not here to entertain you, and I'm not forcing anyone to be here. If you're comfortable, you can listen, watch and listen. If you have any reasonable thing that you want to comment, you comment. But please, do not come here to distract me on what I'm doing. If you're not comfortable with the channel anymore, there are a lot of channels there that are doing live stream. You can go there and watch. Go to Pella. Pella is on live stream now. Go to iShowSpeed. They are on live stream. Go and watch them. They're entertaining. They will entertain you. Okay? Go and read my bio, what I said about my channel. That is what I'm standing for. I don't need to carry placard to stand on the government houses protesting. No, I don't need that. At the end of this live stream, I will have nothing less than 20,000 people watching me. That means I've passed message to 20,000 people. And I'm proud of it. Okay? So if you're here with me and you are comfortable with my channel, please, I don't want distraction. I don't want distraction. I'm not going to distract you, and don't distract me. I'm here for a very serious business. Okay? No, you're not having a conversation. You are trying to distract me. No. It's not about having open mind. No, it's not. You're not teaching. What you're trying to do, you are telling me that I should stop what I'm doing, that I should go and contest and become. I don't want to become a politician. That's number one. I've never dreamed to become one. Because Nigerian politicians are corrupt. But politics in Nigeria is a dirty game. Listen, in the history of Nigerian politics, if you're a Nigerian politician and you swear that you've never killed anybody, you've never killed a person in your life, it takes the grace of God to find any politician that have never killed a person in his life. That has to tell you, to show you how dirty Nigerian politics is. So I'm not interested in it. I'm only interested in lending my voice, making people to understand, sensitizing people about the importance of holding leaders accountable. That is why I'm here. I'm not here to entertain anyone. I'm not here to force anyone to enter politics. And by the way, 2027 is around the corner. Election is coming up. Very soon, we'll have another election. Okay, now I get to understand you. I'm sorry. But, most of the time when I'm on live stream here, I get carried away by emotion, So sometimes, my replies may be so harsh. But nevertheless, we're here to learn from each other for real, as you said. We're here to learn from each other, and we're here to, to enlighten ourselves as well. That's not a problem. But what I'm saying is that for me personally, I have no interest in Nigerian politics because it's a dirty, very dirty game. Yeah. Even if you don't want to be, sincerely speaking, one or two things will push you in to become like them. If somebody like Oshomole would be carried away and was pushed to become one of them, part of them, sincerely speaking, anybody else can be, because I can remember vividly during the time of Obasanjo how Oshomole was very, very active in this activism, was very active. Now you can imagine if Ganifa Emi was still alive and he became a president, trust me, his legacy would have been rubbished and rubbed to the mud, on the mud. Sincerely speaking, I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah. So look at somebody like what's it called? Look at somebody like Traoré. If Traoré becomes a president today, it's a problem for him, because all his sufferness and all his struggles from 1990 to date will become rubbish. And we don't want such a thing to happen. If you're a comrade, stay on your lane, do your job. Look, for instance, let me give you an instance. Look at somebody like Desmond Elliott. You know who is Desmond Elliott? The former, and I don't know if I'm to call him former Nollywood actor, or I'm to call him Nollywood actor, that is currently a House of Rep member in Lagos State. When Desmond Elliott wanted to vie for an office, right? People were happy. People were so happy. People were, saying, yeah, let him go. He's youth. He will speak for us. But what happened after when he got to the office? He was carried away. That is to tell you how dirty Nigerian politics is. If you're not being carried away, they will eliminate you. That's fact. No upright leader in Nigeria lasts for long. No. It's either they will eliminate him. Look at somebody like Dora Akunyili. You saw the impact of Dora Akunyili in NAFDAC. But what happened to him? She was eliminated because she was doing a good cause. So Nigerian politics is not something for me. It's not for me. I remove my hand and my soul, my body out of Nigerian politics. What we want is a system that works. But how can we get a system that works? It's by 2027. Everybody get your PVC. Go to the pool. Do your, exercise your franchise and elect, the right people that will carry on the affairs of the country, that will have people that have the country at heart, not selfish leaders. People that only their children are all living outside Nigeria. They're having mansions in everywhere in the world. So they don't care about what is going on, insecurity or whatsoever. They care about what they can gain and how to enrich themselves, how you can be able to come and bow for them, beg them for food. Every December, you see them line you up on their gate, sharing you a bag of rice. That gives them joy. It makes them happy, makes them feel fulfilled. When they see people bowing for them, queuing up to collect a cup of rice from them. This is the Nigerian state of politics. They subject their people into abject poverty for their own selfish gain. And it's uncalled for. It's uncalled for. I will be ending it here, guys. Please, if you're joining me for the first time, please don't forget, subscribe to the channel, put on your notification bell. And as well, the reason why I asked you to put on your notification bell, I have a long form video that I dropped. I talked about Boko Haram and whatsoever. Go and watch my videos and learn a lot from it. Please do that for me. And don't forget, subscribe to the channel, share the live stream to other people so we can get to a wider audience. Papa said, I actually learned a lot from how Mandela became the change he wanted his country to be. You and I can pick up a lesson. I understand. But the fact is that, me personally, I have nothing to do with Nigerian politics. Sincerely speaking, I'm not going to lie to you. I absolutely have nothing to do with Nigerian politics. Nigerian politics is a dirty game. It's a very, very, very dirty game. That me and you knows very well that once you get there, the first primary thing, one thing that comes to your mind is how to enrich yourself first. I've told you of a story of a former local government chairman of my local government chairman. This young boy he's just around the age with me. He was nobody. He had nothing. He was just struggling and running errands for politicians, right? As God may have it, in 2015, his boss, which is Okezi Ikpa, as a former Abia State governor, became a governor. He was an errand boy. He was just an errand boy. He had nothing, absolutely nothing. His family, he came from a very poor background. So when Okezi Ikpa became a governor, Okezi Ikpa settled him. I think that was recently, 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, there was election, right? Or 18. I think that either 18 or 19, there was election. He became local government chairman. Okezi Ikpa positioned him as local government chairman. Nigeria, There's nothing like election. It's selection that we have in Nigeria. There's nothing like election. Because if I selected him as local government chairman of my local government, and he became local government chairman, somebody that had nothing. When he became local government chairman, do you know the first thing he did? First allocation came. He used the money to build mansion for himself in the village, fence it, and start living flamboyant life. Second allocation came. He used it and buy house in the town. Thought that he spent 3 years as local government chairman. But what this young man achieved is something that even a businessman in Alaba International will not achieve, even in 20 years. He bought houses. At the end of the day, when he was out of office, the first thing he did was to send his children and his wife to UK. When he sent them to UK, he came back to come and still play politics. So this is the average mindset of Nigerian. They've always believed that politics is an avenue to become wealthy. And that is the reason why I told you that corruption started from the grassroots. So, Papa, if you are fit, maybe we can have a conversation tomorrow here. We can come on live stream. You can tell them. I will invite you on live stream here. You come and tell them what is in your mind, sincerely speaking, because I like people like you that always like to challenge and have something to say or have something to put it on the table here on the live stream. Okay. Alex Bluecoat said, I saw a stupid Nigerian YouTube channel. He was drawing a map, half of Nigerian, half left, half, and calling it Yoruba Federal Republic. And I'm sure he is paid from the British. This is the deity. I swear to God. Most of the time, let me tell you something, Alex Bluecoat. Most of the time, the problem that we have in Nigeria, first of all, I will say is sentiment, tribalism, favoritism, and religion. These are the major problems that we have in Nigeria, and these politicians understand that language. They understand the language. They understand that there's a big role that favoritism plays in Nigerian politics that favors them a lot. There's a big role tribalism plays, and it favors them a lot. There's a big role favoritism plays, and it pays them a lot. This is one of the problems. This is one of the reasons why Nigerians got it so wrong in 2023 that they elected Tinubu into power. Do you know why they elected Tinubu into power? Because Tinubu is somebody that, if Tinubu is chop I chop, he behaved like IBB. What's it called? Babangida. That's how he does. So he spreads money, he throws money on. Tinubu can spend his last card to get what he wants. And what Nigerians understand is once you give me small thing, you can get whatever you want. And that is wrong. That is very, very wrong. This is one of the reasons why desperation for wealth, desperation to become rich, everybody is desperate. That is why our names are going everywhere in the world, because of desperation. So they understand that every Nigerian is desperate to become wealthy. So that's why they will first of all use money to throw in your face to get what they want. Do you understand? So people are not talking about Yoruba and Igbo, Hausa. Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba, they are the three major ethnic groups in Nigeria. Now, let me tell you one thing. Will you agree with me that an Igbo man will come to become president and Yoruba man will say, no, we don't want Igbo? Hausa will say, no, I don't want Igbo. Hausa man will come to become president. The Yoruba man and Igbo man will say, no, I don't want your Hausa man. But knowing fully well that the Hausa man will be the perfect candidate to change the situation of the country. This is exactly what happened in 2023. Everybody knows very well that P2B, I'm not in support of P2B. I'm not a fan of P2B. I'm not in support of politicians in any form. But I believe pretty well that P2B would have been a better president than Tinubu. But do you know why P2B was being sold out? Because he's an Igbo man. That's number one. They thought that when P2B becomes president, he will make Biafran dream to be actualized, which was not true. P2B have never been in support of Biafra in any form. So now they understand that language like, we don't want this one, we want this one. We want our people, we want our people. We want Muslims will say, I don't want Christians. Christians will say, I don't want Muslims. Knowing fully well that this is not about, if we want everything, if we want Nigeria to work today, we should set aside sentiment, tribalism, religion, and favoritism, so that we can be able to put Nigeria back on track. It's very simple. It's very simple. It's very simple. It's very simple. So thank you very much, guys. I'm ending it up here. Sincerely speaking, I've spent 1 hour plus, so it's getting late already. Let me get some rest, and my throat is already dry. Thank you so much for joining me here on my live stream. I really appreciate every one of you. You guys are super wonderful. You guys are the real MVPs. I can't thank you guys enough. Thank you so much. And always remember, I do come live stream every time. And don't forget to put on your notification bell so that you can be able to notify when I come on live stream and when I drop a video. Don't forget, I dropped a video, very important video about Boko Haram. There's a video that I dropped on my channel that I titled it Boko Haram. I talked about Boko Haram and how Nigerian government want to, reintegrate Boko Haram members back to the society, which is very, very, very wrong. So I talked about it there. Go and watch my long form videos, support what I do, and as well, don't forget to comment your opinion in the comment section, and as well, lend your voice, by asking questions. Ask questions. I'm always active to answer any question. Don't forget, please share the live stream so we can get to wider audience, and don't forget to subscribe. If you are joining me for the first time, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel, comment where you're watching from, and as well, put on your notification bell. And the super chat is active. Like I said, the super sticker is actually active as well, and the gift is active as well. So thank you very much, guys. Thank you, Papa, thank you very much. It's good to have a conversation like what you are doing. Thank you very much, brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. You guys are wonderful. You guys are the real MVPs. I thank you very, very much. Thank you so much. I see you guys in the next one. Thank you. Bye bye.